What's on the agenda for later today for them both?
Yes, good morning, Belle, and let's cut through the diplomatic language. Donald Trump will be socializing with a dictator tonight, a man who presides over the most secretive state in the world, a repressive state, a man who murdered his uncle in execution, who murdered his half-brother. This is the man, Chairman Kim, that Donald Trump will be socializing with tonight. First of all, a one-on-one conversation, as the White House puts it, for about 20 minutes, and then what they call a social dinner for an hour and a half to 2 hours alongside Mike Pompeo and probably Kim Jong-un's spy chief, maybe his sister as well. And then around 9 o'clock, Donald Trump will go back to his hotel. And what happens then could be the most significant thing about the next 48 hours, because he will sit down almost certainly and he will watch the testimony on Capitol Hill of his former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen. And we now know from testimony that's been released that Cohen will call the President of the United States a liar, a cheat, a racist, and a con man. He will produce documents and checks that he says Donald Trump personally gave him to a porn star. Now, I mean, it's difficult to be distracted by this just hours before he sits down for important nuclear negotiations with Kim Jong-un. And one thing is for certain, Kim Jong-un will not be distracted by anything like that. There is no committee in Pyongyang accusing him of anything. So you have a well-rested leader of North Korea after a 2-day train journey. You have a president of the United States who had an overnight flight and will be jet-lagged and distracted by his former lawyer, a man who knew him for 10 years, calling him a liar, a con man, a cheat, and a racist. That's a pretty amazing lead-up to an important summit, Belle.
You've really set the stage there in terms of the way these two leaders are going to approach this this meeting. With that in mind, what sort of concrete measures might emerge? Which way might this go?
Well, that is exactly the right question we should all be asking, Belle. What is the definition of success, or what is the definition even of progress? And we're hearing a lot of leaks that what will come from this summit is an end of war declaration, something that says that the Korean War from 1950 to 53 is finally over. Remember, it didn't end with a peace treaty. It ended simply with an armistice, with a ceasefire. But then what does that mean? Does that mean for North Korea that it would like to see the removal of 28,500 US troops from South Korea? And remember, it's just a political declaration. It's not a peace treaty. That will require even more steps and the involvement of China and so on. So that seems like one concrete thing that will come out of this. They may also establish liaison offices in Pyongyang and Washington, diplomats. So it's just short of diplomatic recognition, just short of embassy status. And all of that is fine, but it is still a long way from complete, verifiable, irreversible denuclearization, which, of course, is the end point the United States wants to get to. But look, Donald Trump said just before he left for this summit that he would be happy as long as North Korea doesn't test nuclear weapons. As long as there's no testing, he says, I'm happy. So the bar, he has certainly set the bar very, very low indeed.